Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is the Wrestling Diaries coming at you again. I'm your host, Mitchell Rulaine, and this is the podcast show for the average Joe, where we find out what people in everyday society wrestle with and how they can overcome it. Check us out on YouTube to see the videos, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more. We release at least once a week. Usually podcasts come out on Wednesdays, so check that out. We also have the spoken word sessions that come out periodically. Check that out as well. Also, listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcast and Overcast and a plethora of any other platforms that host music and podcasts. We are on there. Check us out. Today, I have a really awesome guest, Mr. Chris Style.
Yes, sir.
So obviously, Chris Style isn't your real name. That's like your stage name, right?
Yeah, when I was modeling, it was my stage name and a nickname, kind of childhood nickname as well.
I gotcha. Washington's your last name, correct? Chris Washington. Okay, cool. How did you? Who gave you that name, or did you come up with the name yourself? The Chris Style thing.
My brother.
It has a really good ring to it. Chris Style.
I know, right?
It was like Crystal.
Yeah. My brother, his name Boo. He gave it to me. He just looked at me one day. He was like, "Man, Chris Style." And I was like, I can roll with that.
Or it could be like a professional wrestler's like name. Ladies and gentlemen, coming out now, Chris Style.
I would love it. I would be such a ham.
Or if you were an MMA fighter, you could be Chris the Style Washington. Chris the Style Washington. And like, was it Bruce Buffer? Yeah, Bruce Buffer.
Yeah.
Yelling your name out.
Man, that's an awesome guy.
That is an awesome guy, and he has like the best job in the world. He wears a wonderful 3-piece Italian suit, and he just shouts out people's names and announces them, and he makes like easy like 6 figures in one night just doing that.
Right.
Yeah, I was looking at something once, and they said he made like one of the bigger pay-per-views, and they were like, he was there and he did all that they totaled up the many times that he announced the fighters to come out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think his total time, like the pay-per-view was like 3.5 hours or something. And his time on the mic was 1 minute and like 38 seconds.
Wow.
Or something. Or maybe no, it was longer than that. It was like 3 minutes and 38 seconds.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
And he made $500,000 just doing that in one night.
Really?
We're in the wrong line of work, right?
Something.
What do we got to
man.
do?
Yeah.
Sign us up. I'll send in a resume. But Chris Style, cool. So how old were you when that nickname came about, man?
Maybe 14, 15, somewhere around there.
Did your brother ever give you a reason for why he said that?
Man, that guy's so spontaneous. Nah. Okay. If you knew him, you'll understand. But
what'd you say his name was? Boo.
Yeah.
Shout out Boo.
Yeah. What's up, Boo?
So, man, what are you currently doing now for work? Like, what are you into?
I work at a steel plant. I run the laser. And
oh wow, really?
Yeah, man. Make all types of cutout, different sizes, different gauges, steel, A36 material. Just yeah.
That's crazy. You get to work a laser. It's
I know, man.
You ever like tempted to just like laser something you're not supposed to? I wonder.
All the time. All the time.
The wall, man. Or your boss, he's like coming and yelling at you. You're like, hey, just stand right there for me.
Yeah, I wish.
Laser him in half. I'm just kidding. If Chris's boss is watching this, just joke, man. Chill.
You'll be all right.
How long have you been doing that, dude? Working a laser?
About 2 years now, man.
Did you have to go through some like extensive kind of training for doing something like that?
No, I didn't.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it's crazy. I mean, because you literally, it's a laser. Like you like cut your hand off like super easy or something.
No,
right?
it's enclosed, so it won't even operate if the door and thing is open.
Okay, I gotcha.
If I cut my hand, I tried to.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So besides that, you also are a dreamer and a person that's an artist. Tell us a little bit about that. I know you're into modeling and then you also do music. Let's hear about that, man.
Yeah, man. I used to model a while back. This lady at church, she saw me one day. She was like, "How would you like to model?" And when I was younger, I was really, really shy, like bashful. And I didn't want to be like that, so I would always kind of force myself to do things. So opportunity like that came, and I just jumped at it. Like, didn't have no experience, didn't even think I'd be good at it, but I was like, we got to do it. You know.
Now, was she like an agent or something? Like she worked for the agent, a modeling agent?
She had her own. She was starting up her own agency. Yeah, her name was Sativa Banks. Hey, Sativa. And yeah, she was getting started. She saw me. I think she might have knew my dad, but I don't know. But yeah, we just jumped right into it, and I loved it. I really love meeting the people. Like, you know, people have a perception of models and things. Man, it's so cool. They are so cool. Yeah, backstage, interacting, seeing other people's dreams. A lot of them inspired me because they had different things going on, what they wanted to do, and just the information they gave me was wonderful. The tips and tricks, and, you know, smile with your eyes and be confident, walk this way. It's a lot harder than you think, but it's real cool.
Yeah, I dabbled in a little bit of modeling when I was like 18. I got invited down to Orlando for this like event, like a I don't know, a casting agency thing. It was called Talent Rock, and it was for modeling and acting. And so I took a couple of courses for that stuff, and I actually got a call back from this really cool. I don't remember the name of the company, but I remember looking it up though. It was like legit. And it was pretty big, and it was out in LA. And the stipulation there was I had to move out to LA to be a part of that. And I'm going to tell you, I still look back on it sometimes and I'm like, man, did I miss an opportunity there? And I mean, I don't know either way, but at the time I was like, oh, because I was hoping it would be local, right? Because there was other local companies and agencies out there. I was hoping like maybe for some, I didn't know there at the time. I don't think any existed in Alabama, not like big time. So there was Georgia and then Tennessee and stuff like that. But this one was in LA, in Los Angeles. And the guy was like, yeah, man, we'd love to represent you. You need to get a portfolio together. And, you know, we can schedule something. You come out to LA and, you know, in a month and meet with me and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was like 18 at the time. So it kind of made me nervous. I had never really traveled that far out. And then I was like, how can I do this? I don't know. And so I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. And then I started like, I was also like, plus like, I don't know, I feel like I'll be a sellout if I do this modeling thing. And I don't want to move out to California, be away from all my friends and family. And so I ended up just not doing it. I just didn't do it. Just didn't go. And so, yeah, that was my stint in that.
Gotcha. Do you ever think about doing it again?
Yeah, but not really. I feel like if the opportunity just kind of like falls into place, it just like comes in. I don't want to say fall in my lap necessarily, but if it's just there, it presents itself, then I probably won't turn away from it because it's an opportunity to do something. But as far as like what I want to do in life, probably not. It's not something I'm going to chase after. Like if it's like the concept of like, right, it's like, I don't want to make a sandwich. I don't feel like getting up and doing that. But if somebody made a sandwich and they're, hey, you want the sandwich? I'm like, yeah, I'll eat that sandwich. And so it's, you know, it's like that. I don't think like what you were saying, a lot of people stereotype it and they think a lot of people that are models or I don't know, jerks or whatever. Some of them might be, but I mean, it's just work. It's just, you know, trying to chase something. You're chasing some kind of dream. But yeah, I don't know. It's funny. I was at the bank the other day and this guy who was from Central Florida was like, hey, have you ever heard of something? I don't remember the name. Like he wrote it on a card and gave it to me, but he's like, have you ever heard of this company? He's like, you should look into it for like modeling. And I was like, oh, really? Haha, thanks. I just threw the card in my floorboard.
Gotcha.
Oh man. So did you make some like real money doing it, or like, can I ask that? Like what's...
Yeah, you can, but not really. I made a few bucks here and there, but not any real money that I was like, ooh, let me really keep going.
Yeah,
but
it was mostly for, I guess, the experience and exposure then, right?
Definitely. And even in that, I was still all in it because like the challenge of learning something new and just being behind the scenes and, like I said, learning and walking and meeting different people was awesome for me.
Yeah, I gotcha. One thing I forgot to say too, though, is back then when I was 18 and I was like too scared, and I was also thinking, I was also like in this punk rock stage too, where I was like, oh, you know, I feel like I'd be like a sellout for doing this. This isn't what a punk rock kid does, or whatever. But it was mostly just because I was scared and I wasn't willing to take more risks then, because I just didn't really think of the concept of how important that stuff is. if something like that happened now, if I did that now and somebody was like, hey, you got to move out to Australia if you want to do this, I'd be like, all right. Like, I wouldn't even think about it.
That's
It'd
awesome.
be instantaneous. And even if I went out there and nothing happened, it didn't matter. Like, it's, I live life for experience. Like, the things that make you uncomfortable and nervous are the things I feel like you should be chasing.
Totally agree.
So did you do a lot of traveling for modeling, or was it just here in the state? Or
I did. I would say so. I got a chance to go to New York, during Fashion Week, and it was awesome. It was just awesome. They're really different up there, but it's almost like I blended right in. Yeah, so it was pretty cool.
I remember you posting a lot of that stuff. The events that you were at and photo shoots you were doing and stuff like that. I remember thinking, dang it. And this guy has such a great fashion sense. I was like, I need to update my wardrobe, because I love fashion and stuff like that. And I was like, dang it, Chris has got better clothes than me. I'm serious. This is literally what went through my head. I was like scrolling through. I was like, oh, this is what Chris is up to. Look at that.
Thanks. I guess that's the style part. Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. That's probably one of my favorite things about the modeling. Isn't even like taking the pictures and stuff. It's just dressing up.
Man,
I like dressing up.
Man.
I love clothes. I love fashion. I love shoes. I mean,
wearing people's ideas and things, it helps you with your own wardrobe. Like, cause you never tried, but like when I walked in, I had the mindset of I'm a blank canvas for them. So
then paint their art on you.
Right.
That's an interesting concept.
Cause a lot of things I was like, I don't like that, but I go out there and you think I made it,
Yeah, I know some models probably don't like a lot of stuff they wear, but they're getting paid to sponsor these people that do the clothing and all that stuff. So they'll do it. They'll wear a brown paper sack and a pink bow tie. I don't know if that's what they do.
It might. You never know.
So you're not really doing as much modeling now. You told me that earlier when we were talking.
Right. No, I haven't. Been a while.
How long was that stretch where you were doing like the modeling stuff?
I believe about 4 to 5 years, somewhere.
Oh wow. There. Okay, that's quite a while. Jeez Louise.
I got Male Model of the Year once.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I was very proud of that.
Yeah, I bet, dude.
Yeah.
Wear that like a badge of honor, man.
Right, man.
I bet you got a lot of phone numbers. I bet.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, who's that guy? Look at him. So besides like the modeling, what are the other things you're into? You talked about doing music. What's that all about? What kind of music do you do?
I do good music. Yeah,
okay.
I really don't have a. I know that's strange, but like I really don't have a. Like when people hear me, they tell me I'm more conscious and I'm more like regular hip hop. So that's cool because they're the fans. But I just whatever I'm feeling or, if I feel like I can help someone else with, that's what if it's in me, then that's what I'm gonna put to the beat. But it started with poetry actually though, man.
You write poetry?
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Oh, cool. I got to hear.
Yeah, definitely. I'll read you one of my pieces before we get out of here.
Okay, cool. But me and my partner, like I never wanted to be a rap artist. I always just like doing that form of art. Like I said, it started with poetry. My dad, he actually used to rap when he was growing up, and my mom had the skills, so I guess it came naturally. And in school, when they'll beat on the bleachers or the tables, I would kind of join in. And a mutual friend from my brother Boo, he heard me and he does music. And he was like, hey man, do you want to like pursue this for real? And I was like, why not? And that's my guy David Local Fletcher. Yeah, he's fresh, man. So now him and I in a group together called Superhuman. It's SUPAHUEMEN. And we get down, man. Like what I love about it, almost like you and Matt, like, y'all contrast, but y'all gel so wonderfully.
Sure.
Different things, he and I the same way. Yeah, so he's actually helped me a lot far as I can write lyrics, but I wasn't really good at making a song. So getting with him, he really showed me how to make a song. And
yeah, like the song structure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that goes into that people don't think about.
God.
Like making a song, putting it all together.
Yeah, man, because I would just get up and just rap and just say things. Yeah. And he
Nice.
was like, yeah, you kind of got to do this, do that. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, put some structure on it. Put some, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty great. So where can we? Do you have some stuff out on like Spotify or anything like that? Or
We getting that
SoundCloud?
together. We do have some stuff on SoundCloud. Superhuman on SoundCloud/SoundCloud. You can hear some of our things. But we actually getting the business part together. We finna get our ASCAP account and things like that, and copyright a lot of our music. Because if someone steals my songs, I'm gonna go ballistic. So,
of course, yeah. That's you definitely do that,
right? So we getting ready. We really getting ready to push our own things and our own beats, and yeah, we getting there.
Okay, you want to do some freestyle before the show's over?
Sure, man.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Like it. All right, we'll do that at the end of the show. I like it. That's so cool, dude. Anything else? Any other cool artistic stuff? Modeling, music? What else you do? You were talking about you'd love to do like animated voiceover. We were talking about that earlier.
My dad, he's got he getting ready to push out some cartoons. Like he does graphic designing and animation and things like that. And I got a taste of it with him because I want to help him out in any type of way as well. I'm a big anime geek, and I really want to do it. I think it'll just help me out with my voice and I just want to do it. It seems so cool to really try.
That's so cool that your dad does. Like, did he go to school for that? That's what he does for a living, or like what?
No, it's he wants it to be. He like my dad. I'm an entrepreneur at heart, and my dad is as well. But he's a jack of all trade and master of most of them.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think I saw. Wasn't your dad in the military or something?
He still is. He's a first sergeant now, actually.
See, I love that, man. Like people can't sit and say that like guys in the military are just uptight and stuff like that, because there's people like your dad, and I know other people that are very eclectic and artistic. And
definitely,
I saw a picture of your dad once. I think it was on Facebook, and he looked jacked. This kid looks so jacked. I was like, all right, this is also probably where Chris gets a lot of his wanting to try to work out and build up and all that stuff from. But your dad's like super jacked. I don't know what he's doing. Let's keep doing that.
Yeah, I'm trying to follow in those footsteps too. I gotta get some weight on me.
So has your dad always had an affinity for that, for animation, cartoons, or whatever?
He's been drawing for as long as I can remember. So I think it just kind of bled into it. But he's always had ideas, and he'll tell you like he didn't, back then really it wasn't that big. So he didn't know, but he always drew. He always had ideas. And when the time came, he dabbled into it. He got instantly hooked, man. But I think he did go to school for a while just to learn a little bit more about it and enjoy it. But he paints as well. I got to show you some of his pieces. Beautiful.
What does he paint with? He does oil painting or acrylics?
All of it. Anything charcoal. His charcoal pieces are beautiful.
Yeah, dude, I totally want to see this.
Yeah, man. He so anything he can get his hands on, really, he just goes at it.
God, I wish he was my dad. I'm just kidding, Aunt Sue or anybody. If you listen to this, it's a joke. But Chris's dad's pretty cool. I want to meet your dad, though. Seriously,
definitely, man.
Sounds like a cool guy to hang out with.
Get him on here, man.
Yeah, we'll have him on the show too. He can show off his art, and you can come with him and stuff too. Yeah, that'd be great. We got to do that before you move to Dallas, Texas,
right?
Which I'm about to ask you about now.
Okay, before we get to that, also me and my brother Drew. He's that's the true like visionary in the family as far as entrepreneurship. Him and I we have a lot of things in play as far as what we want to start up and do some things as well. So it's like I got a lot going on, but I'm keeping it reeled in or whatnot.
Yeah. Do you get into, you're talking about entrepreneurial stuff. Do you do anything with like stocks, or you invest in any kind of stuff?
He got me into that actually.
Yeah. Robinhood's a good thing for young people to get into because it's digital stock trading. It's very effortless. You could start to little to no money at all.
Yeah, I started that this year.
Oh, so you're already in it?
Yeah.
All right, well, perfect. You know exactly what's going
Drew.
on. Yeah, I'm still trying to get into it. I've been lazy about it, but I invest in precious metals too. I have gold and silver and stuff like that. So that's a really good one. Kind of how that works is, the price of gold and silver always goes up and down. So you buy when it's low and then sell when it's high. Right. So you buy like an ounce of silver for, this is not accurate. I'm just going by an example here. Like you buy it for like $5, right? And then the economy kind of dips a little bit, and then the price of it shoots up, and now it's like $50. And let's say you bought $1,000 worth of it and it's at $10. Now the price of it per ounce went from $10 to $50. So now you sell it all back and you make that profit. All right. And then you've got capital. And then when it goes down again, you buy some more. Also, I recommend if anybody's doing it, don't sell all of it. Keep some of it. Just in case whenever the dollar collapses, you have some gold and silver to survive. But no, seriously, and then gold's super expensive right now, man. Like an ounce of that is like, I hadn't looked at it in a while, but it's like, it was flirting around with about $2,000 for one small ounce of gold. Yeah. Anyway, we can talk about that more later. But yeah, man, investing is a good way to kind of bring in some passive income, make a nest egg and stuff like that. So if you're already doing the Robinhood thing, you're on it. You're on it. You made some pretty good strides in it. I'm not going to ask you what your money is, but
gotcha. Yeah, like I was, like you said, it's really good for people who have little to nothing or don't know what they're doing. And the more I learn, like it's definitely getting better. But yeah, I've come up, as we say.
Yeah, that's really awesome, dude. But so tell us about, we're going to talk about you're moving from good old Birmingham, Alabama to Dallas, Texas.
Like I talked about earlier, I like challenges. And I don't want to say that I mastered Alabama, but it's no longer a challenge for me. I grew up here, been here all my life, and kind of need something fresh, a breath of fresh air, new, that challenge of just making it. And even if I don't, I can say, hey, I went out there and tried.
Yeah, I love that. Absolutely. I mean, that's really great. And what was the reason for Dallas specifically? You told me earlier before the podcast, but tell me again here.
I had, I'm trying to do better in planning. So this time I broke down 5 places that I really like, and Miami and Dallas was like the last 2. And so it's a lot of opportunity.
Miami,
there.
He's wearing the Miami Hurricanes.
It's all about the youth.
They're doing pretty good this year, man. They only lost to the number 1 team in the country. Other than that,
I'm excited. But so came down to those 2. Both of them have opportunity. Both of them are spacious. Both of them I've been to both.
Yeah, Dallas is super, super fun, super nice. A lot of cool stuff to do there, and
it's not too far from the fam, but it's far enough, and they'll have somewhere to go. But yeah, so pretty much that right there. And I'm a Cowboy fan, so you can't go wrong.
Oh, dude, right here. That's my team.
Yeah,
Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, not this year.
They haven't been relevant for a while, but whatever.
Yeah,
I grew up on the Dallas Cowboys, so I have to be a fan by default. Same thing with the Atlanta Braves. They choked in the playoffs. The sons of... Anyways, I'm not going to talk about that. We can get into talking about sports all day long. But that's cool, man. Dallas, Texas. That's all right, man.
It's a lot of music opportunities out there as well.
I forgot about that. That is a very musically inclined city.
Yes,
big time.
Not even talk about Houston.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I have to come visit you, dude. You go out there. Come out there and see what's going on.
You
in
and
Dallas.
Matt.
Yeah, come out there. Maybe by this time, we have an idea to do traveling podcasts. So maybe by that time, we'll have the effects to be able to do that and come out and not just hang out with you, but we can film a show while we're out there in Dallas. Hey, we're out here in Dallas with the Wrestling Diaries. We're about to go get some steak, wear cowboy hats, and buy some guns. Oh my God, I love it. So when do you plan on going, man? Do you have like a timetable, or are you just kind of winging it, or what?
For a long time, it was going to be before 2021, before January 1st, 2021. But of course, life get in the way. So now I'm looking at between January and February of next year.
January, February next year. Okay. That's actually not too far off. Like we're in November now, so that's just like a couple months.
I've been looking at houses and things like that and different job opportunities, which is again a lot.
And now you're going out there completely by yourself.
Completely by myself.
Just you.
Just me.
You're so brave. See, because at first I was thinking maybe you might be going out there with one of your partners or something, and you're just doing it by yourself, dude. Woof. That's brave, man. I tip my hats for you. Like I said, when I was talking about my modeling stint back when I was in my late teens, a lot of that, I used to be scared of my own shadow, metaphorically speaking. And like now I said, like if an opportunity came like that, I would not hesitate to drop everything I'm doing here. You know, I'll just sell my home and go if I feel like that's what I have to do. Like this is just the life I want to live. Because I want to be on my deathbed one day thinking about what if, right? Because that whole concept about me not moving out to LA, that's definitely something I think back on. I was like, what if I would have done that? You know, what if nothing happens? What if something would have happened? Either way, I would have got some new experience in life. I would have gotten some challenge, you know? And so I feel like, I don't know, it's really important for people to really challenge themselves, man. People are so in their own little bubble, right? And there's like this whole world out there. You got to get out and adventure. And that's very important.
I think we talked about it before the podcast, but you know, I was super bashful growing up. Like you said, afraid of my own shadow. That was almost literally for me. But in church one day I learned that being shy is part of fear, and we don't have the spirit of fear. And ever since that day, I really like push forward to like just get out there, try it. Like, don't be afraid to fail. And even now, when I get on stage to perform, I still get butterflies, but I just go at it, man. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, I said this on one of my previous episodes, but failure solidifies and facilitates triumph. You know, like you have to learn to fall, to pick yourself back up and keep moving forward. Like it's a very important experience. You know what I mean? Like it's like, I don't know. It's like you could be scared of the water, but until you actually jump in there and try to start swimming, and could you drown? Yeah, the possibility is there, but I mean, you're not going to be able to swim unless you try to do it. This is a motto that I've been living by a large part of my young adult life now. Is that just by also too like I've also learned that the things that make me nervous and give me anxiety, I almost use that as like a drug. Like I almost like it. Like, oh, I'm kind of nervous. Like these people are looking at me, or I've got to talk in front of a crowd or do public speaking or something. Like, oh, I don't know. And like that feeds me. Like it's weird. Like the way I've like, I don't know. I've I guess challenged my body, like worked my body to like feed off of that, feed off of the fear, and you feed off of the, you know, feed off all of those stressful chemicals.
If you don't feed off it, it'll definitely eat you, man.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's absolutely true. Well, that's cool, man. I hope you land on your feet. I believe you will, man. You've got a pretty good head on your shoulders. I always tell people too, like if you're really trying to chase your dreams in life, I feel like, because they're like, well, how long do you chase them? Like forever. Did you ever listen to you know who Matthew McConaughey is, right? He won an Academy Award for that movie, Dallas Buyers Club. It's based on a true story about this guy that had AIDS, I think in the 80s or 90s in Texas. And he ends up, you know, they tell him he's going to die and all this stuff. And he comes up with like, he creates his own, like, I don't want to say medical program, but his own, like, he's like, oh, hospitals, and they give you the runaround, and they give you all these drugs. And he starts like experimenting with like supplements and nutrients and all kinds of different stuff like that to try to help people with their ailments or whatever. Anyways, it's a really, really good movie. But Matthew McConaughey won a Academy Award for Best Actor in that movie. And on his speech at the Oscars, it's like probably one of the best speeches I've ever heard in my entire life. Like the speech was so good, it went viral by itself when somebody posted it. Yeah. But he just talks about how like when he was a young man, you know, and he was up and coming, he wanted to get into acting or in the entertainment industry. And he had this colleague or this mentor who was like older than him. The guy asked him, who's your hero? That's what it was. He's like, who's your hero? And he's like, well, my hero is, and he started thinking about all the actors and sports athletes he followed, his dad. And then he was like, well, no, my hero is me in 10 years. And he was like, really? He's like, why is that? He's like, because that guy, that Matthew in 10 years, he's going to have a better head on his shoulders. He's going to be smarter. He's going to be more successful. He's going to be a better person. He's going to be a better man. And he was like, so that's my hero is the guy in 10 years. And he said 10 years later, you know, he's, I think 28 at this point or something in the story. Yeah. Cause when he was asked, he was 18. Yeah. He's 28. And then the guy's like, he's like, all right, well, it's been 10 years. He's like, are you your hero? Did you meet your hero? Are you your hero? And he goes, no, absolutely not even close. He's like, my hero's 10 years from here. That's me at 38. He's like, that's the guy I want to be. He's going to be a better guy, more successful, and all this stuff. And he was like, and then you fast forward 10 years there. And then he's when he gets to that point, and he's 38, his hero is 10 years from there. He's like, the point is like, he's never going to catch his hero, but it gives him something to keep chasing his whole life through. And I was just like, dang,
yeah, that is
probably the, like, Before you leave, we got to watch that, man. It's a good, even if you don't like Matthew McConaughey, if you're not touched by that speech, then you're just not human. You're like a robot or some kind of amoeba. But yeah, man, that's what I try to tell people. If you're chasing your dreams, just keep chasing it. I mean, and then if you don't make it and you're on your deathbed and you didn't become a movie star or a rock star or a writer or an artist or whatever it is, then you can look on it and be like, but I chased what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do, and my life was not wasted.
Talking about dream chasers, man, I can't not mention my little brother and my little sister, Tisha and Trey. They don't know it, but they actually inspires me, man. My little brother Trey, he just turned 23, I believe, in March. But he lived in Hawaii. He's lived in LA. He's lived in he's been in South Carolina. He's been everywhere. And now he's getting ready to go to Japan really soon, man.
Whoa. What is this kid doing? What is he doing? He's just traveling?
Yeah, he's living life, man. He has a buddy in the military, but also he just gets up and goes sometimes. And I love him for it. Like, I'm so happy.
I'm envious just listening to this.
I know, right?
The freedom there. That's another thing about it too, is the freedom, right? Just going, just getting out there. Even if you don't catch what you're chasing, like Matthew McConaughey, he's never going to chase his hero, or he's never going to catch his hero. But it gives him something to keep chasing. Like, just getting out there, the freedom is, that's my real drug. That's what I'm addicted to. The sheer freedom of things, the freedom of my time and my expression of myself. It's like, if I was a cokehead, I would be like at a cocaine buffet and there'd be a mountain of powder in front of me. And that's the equivalence for me personally. I'm not promoting people to go out and do cocaine. I was using it as a metaphor. But that's wonderful, dude. The fact that he's done that.
Yeah,
like,
my sister,
my gosh.
her nickname is Free.
Okay, but, what's her deal?
She's more talented than me, but she does poetry. She does spoken word. In fact, she's moved to Florida a few times. She lives in Fort Hood, Texas. She's getting ready to move to Tennessee. But what inspires me about her is she had kids, but it didn't stop her. She's still chasing it, doing what she do. And she had a couple people was like, "Oh, you shouldn't do that." And she just headstrong went into it, no matter what she faced, and she's still going strong. And I'm like, man, how can I not?
I love the fact that you said she had kids and she still do it, because I guarantee you right now, a big bulk of people, even big dreamers, people that are willing to take risk, once they start a family, then that's a great scapegoat that they can use to be like, oh, well, I mean, I got to look out for my kids and stuff like that. I mean, and you still should. I mean, obviously, first and foremost, what's most important if you have kids is them and their well-being and stuff like that. But you can figure out a way to do both. If you're a smart, strong human being, you figure out how to do both, because I feel like you owe it to them too to be the best person you can be. And if you're not chasing your dreams and doing what you want to do, then you're not being the best you can be, whilst also putting food on the table and taking care of them, making sure they're clothed and sheltered and nourished. Makes you even stronger, right? Because then at the end of the day, when she makes it to the top of the mountain, and she did it with having kids and all that, she's going to be so much stronger than somebody that makes it to the top that didn't have kids.
Yeah, I get a lot of the underhandedly comments, or they trying to tell me in their own way. They being nice about it, but like I can pretty much read through it, because like they be like, "You gonna leave your job? You sure about that? You're making good money, aren't you?" And different things like that. They're not saying it, but they're saying it's not a good idea. Like I don't even tell a lot of people that I'm going to Dallas. I'll be like, yeah, I got stuff going on, and I'll leave it at that, because the naysayers.
Yeah. And then sometimes it's bad to hear that too, because it can poison your brain, right? It'll sit back, even if you're like, oh, they don't know, but still, you're a human being. You're still affected by the things you hear, so it can still stay deep in here somewhere, and it'll come out later. If you're having a bad day, you're just having a bad run of it, and then you'll start thinking about it. Was that dude right? Was Johnny at work right? Am I like, what am I doing? Am I screwing my life up here? I should have just stayed home. Should have just kept my job. Should have stayed back in Alabama, blah, blah, blah.
And one of the worst things can happen when you start talking like them. And yeah, that's something that
I've literally said stuff like that out of my mouth, and I was like, why did I say that? That's not how I really think.
I've been there.
Yeah, I mean, the best way to do that is you have to let it go in one ear and out the other, but then also you just just keep pushing forward. Like what Vincent van Gogh said about his paintings. He's the guy that did the Starry Night. And he was like, doubt creeps into my head that says, what are you doing, Vince? You can't paint. This doesn't look good. This is weird. People are, because he was an abstract painter. He painted stuff very abstractly. It was weird looking. And it was like, this looks weird. This isn't a thing. Like, nobody's going to like this. He says, doubt creeps in my head and it says all that stuff. And I just keep painting anyway. And the voice goes away eventually. And that's what you just have to keep doing. Another thing that I think is very interesting too is the moment that you do make it, right? Like you're chasing your dreams or whatever, like say it's to be a rapper or whatever. And the minute like you get signed to a record label and you got a music video and you just made $100,000 or you're on a music video and blah, 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 blah. Now all those people, they're like, yeah, Chris, maybe you should, that's kind of weird. Now those people are like, oh my gosh, man. Hey, what's up, bro? Let's get coffee sometime and hang out.
I always believed in you. Yeah.
I'd like to think of that too. Like the stuff that my sister said to me, but realistically, hypothetically speaking, the moment I were to become a millionaire by whatever it is I'm chasing, and if that, helps me ascertain that, I guarantee you she's going to be like, oh, wow, yeah, my brother, he's wonderful and all this stuff. And I'm going to be like, hey, what? Excuse me? I never could have done this. What do you mean? Right. It's so funny. Like they're naysayers now, but the moment that you find the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, right? The moment you finally, all that digging you do and the oil's just geysering out of the ground, now they're like in your corner. Now they support you. Now anything you say, they're hanging all over your words. And it's such a silly thing. And my whole thing is just like, if you're not cool with me now and you don't respect my beliefs in myself and my ideals, then you.
They support the product, but not the progress.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
I just don't. I don't know. It's programming, man. It's just like it's the way we're raised up. We're all raised up in it. It's still, from time to time, it still like leaks into my brain, like the things that I try to do. You just, like I said, you just have to keep painting and the voice goes away. That's just what you do. You got to keep painting. But so I'm going to get to the point of the show now where I ask people what they're personally wrestling with. You said one of the things you wrestled with was that stuff, fighting that negativity with the things you're trying to chase after, the dreams that you have. But what is anything else? Is there anything else that you're struggling with, man, on a day-to-day basis that you try to overcome? How do you think you can beat it?
Yeah, I would say one of my fears is being average.
What do you mean by that?
Pretty much a lot of what we just talked about, being a run-of-the-mill, 9-to-5 working, just another face in the crowd. And a lot of that's because I know my potential. I can feel my potential. I have all these great talents. I have people, really, really believing in me, seeing and stuff like that. And just me, myself, I just want to be more, and and sometimes I just feel like I'm not, I feel like I am being average. And a lot of that is because the job, like I'm comfortable at my job. That's good, but it's not good, Yeah,
and sometimes comfort can be a coffin.
Definitely. And that's funny you say that. That's how I feel a lot. Like for real, man, I'm not depressed, but like people don't understand how much it bothers me. So, but yeah, that and how I get over that is prayer, and I just keep talking to myself. I keep repeating what I want to do. I keep repeating. I just keep moving forward. Honestly, like if I can't walk, I crawl. If I can't crawl, I scoot myself forward. Whatever I got to do to keep moving forward, like I do it. Like sometimes I have to escape from everybody. Like even the ones that's pouring good things into me, I escape from them. I just clear the world out where I can only hear myself and God, and if I feel like I can't hear him, I say what he already told me, or I say things what I want to do. Like, I'm a great worker. Every job I've been on, I've been promoted pretty much really quickly, but I don't want to work for anyone else, because like you said earlier, it's very limited, not dogging people who does, but that's just not me, because I want to be a philanthropist. I want to give. I really want to give. Like that's another way. When I'm in a funk, I would find someone to help, whether it's counseling, my time, anything, because I feel like a different person when I'm helping other people, and a lot of time helping them out and telling them something, I hear something that I need to hear, and they don't even know, and it really blesses me a lot.
I know what you mean. I've been there too. Like in helping people, it does something. Like it helps you. Like you learn something from somebody, and then just their gratitude is there's something so extensively rewarding about that. Like when I've worked with and partnered with that nonprofit organization I told you about, Grace Klein, and helping people that don't have food, or some struggling single mother of like 4 children. You bring her a box of food and stuff, and just like her saying thank you, and just like the gratitude there. It's just something so rewarding. You know what I mean? Like you can work somewhere and get like they tear out the paycheck and the boss signs it and hands it to you, and there's something so much more rewarding about giving to somebody else that I find that, I don't know, like it's irreplaceable. Sometimes it's harder to help people when you are struggling financially, though, right?
It is, but in those moments, if you can really find yourself to do it, I think you will like unlock a new level of yourself, and those struggles seem a little less stressful, because like I'm not valued by monetary things. And once I learned that about myself, a lot of stress fell off. I want to make a lot of money, of course.
Yeah, same here. It's
it won't define me.
Money is a good servant, but it's a dangerous master.
Another thing, I get in my head too much, especially with my music. Like I'm my worst critic, man. And my partner David Local, God bless him, because he got to deal with me, because I was man, he'll write a song or his lyrics in like 15 to 30 minutes. Sometimes it take me days, man, because I'll be like, no, I don't like that, or I can say this different, or they ain't gonna understand, and I got to learn how to get out my own head sometimes too, because I'm so critical with my music.
Something I learned in digital media business school was that people they end up holding themselves back because of analysis paralysis. You know what I mean?
Never heard it, but that's
they want everything to be perfect, and they overcritique themselves. So it's like one of those, like you're like a scientist and you're studying all these steps to take, and you're taking so long to study these steps that you're not going anywhere. You're just standing there. Other people are just walking up the steps. And so sometimes the best way to combat that is just to do it. Just go out there and do it. And even if it's crap, and it might be, oh, well, so it was crap. Now you're like, okay, well, so then the next one will be less crap. And then eventually you'll get up to something that's really good. You just have to do it. You just have to shut your mind off and just go. That's why, like, I feel like people that are very airheaded, they're very airy. Their heads are in the clouds. They're not really thinking constructively or critically, and they just do things. They have a higher yield of success than people like you or I, who stick in our heads and we're analyzing things so much with a fine-tooth comb and critiquing ourselves, and we want it to be perfect. But perfection doesn't exist, obviously. And so those other people, they don't think about it at all. They're just airheaded. They just do things. They're just going. They're just doing it. You know what I mean? So it's
listen for the day, be an airhead.
Right. Well, there's a beauty in it. There's a beauty in how you don't think about it. You just do it. And so you get somewhere much further. Like Bruce Lee always used to say that. He said that somebody asked him, what's the best way to attain masterhood of martial arts and stuff like that? And he was like, to practice. To practice, to spar. He was like, you can sit there and read all the books you want, watch all the video, listen to all the audio about swimming all day long, to where you know more about swimming than like an actual professional swimmer. But unless you hop in the water, then you're not going to know how to swim. You just got to hop in the water.
Yeah.
And I've definitely been one of those people who's like, I want to hop in the water, but I know that I can drown. So I want to know exactly how I should feel and what to look out for. Instead, just jump in there. Just jump in. You got to take the risk. If you drown, then you drown.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I know that, because like normally I'm such a cool, laid back person. Like like I have duck feathers, man. A lot of stuff that come my way just roll off. And
That's good.
And when I did come up, when I was trying to force myself out of that shyness, I would just go and do it. But for whatever reason, when it comes to my music, man, I'm so tedious. I'm like, go. And I've had examples where I did a verse and I didn't particularly care for it, but I didn't want to hold, my partner back. And once we did it, people loved it. And I'm like, see, that's what you get. But so I'm working on it.
My advice to you would just be just do it. And then if it sounds like crap, then you do it again. And then if that sounds like crap, you do it again. And if that sounds like, and then you just do it till it sounds good. And if the person you're working with has that patience, then you're good. You just have to do it. And I'm saying this too, because also I'm speaking to myself when I'm telling you this. Like I'm constantly, I stay in my head about stuff. I'm like, well, what if this happens? What if I do this and this happens? What if I lose this? What if blah, 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 blah. And I've been trying to train myself to just do it. Just do it. Just stop thinking, just go. Like, don't think about it. Like analysis paralysis. Whoever came up with that, whoever coined that term, I mean, it's a legitimate thing. It's 100% a legitimate thing.
First time I'm hearing it, but it's so, your pig got me.
Bruce Lee used the swimming analogy. I came up with my own analogy. I was like, it's like this like mastermind mechanic who knows everything about working mechanics and machinery and automobiles. And he knows how to make a combustible engine and everything. He has the complete knowledge and willpower and the expertise and the handwork to do all of it. And he's got all the ingredients to make a workable 4-cylinder car out in his garage right now. And he could go out there and put it all together. But all that knowledge that he has to make the car doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He might as well be somebody that doesn't know how to make the car. Because if he doesn't go in the garage and tinker and put it together, he's not going to have a car. And the metaphor there is, if he has all that knowledge, it's wasted and it doesn't matter. There's no power there. It's in like knowledge is power. I feel like I don't agree with that necessarily. It's the execution of knowledge. That's the power. You execute on the knowledge you have. That's where the true power is. So if this guy knows how to make all this car and he's got all the machinery out in his garage to do it, but if he doesn't go out there and make the car, he's not going to go anywhere.
It's funny you used that one though, because when I was working at 45 Inc., I had
a tattoo shop.
No,
it's
okay. It was like kind of like teaching you how to be your own manager and your own business owner, things like that. And I got promoted to not assistant, but like a little regional manager thing. And when you get promoted, you have to do a speech or whatnot. And one of the things I said is, I said, people say that knowledge is power, but I say the application of knowledge is
same
power.
Thing, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so execution, application.
When you said that, I was like, but it also reminds me that faith without work is dead. Like when you start talking, that's the first thing, came to me. Like, yeah, like I can have all this faith, or I can, like you said, all this stuff. But if I don't apply anything or execute it, what's good is gonna do?
Yeah, that's a really good point. Man, we got to hang out more.
I totally agree.
You're like a really good sane voice that I need to hear that helps kind of push me along in my entrepreneurial endeavors, my artistic endeavors. Definitely. I have to, Jim Rohn, like he said, you are the 5 people you surround yourself around the most. So like if you surround yourself around negative people, pessimistic people that are bringing you down and costing you more than they're giving you, then that's where you're going to be. That's you. You're eating poison, right? And if you're around people that are lifting you up and they're giving you something, you're getting some kind of reward back from them. And that's the kind of headspace you'll be in too. So it's really important. But I feel like you're surrounding yourself. You've already got that. Your family. I mean, that's what you got a lot of good inspiration there. Jeez. Can we trade for
I'll let you borrow. I don't know about trade. I'll let you borrow.
Yeah. Hey, let me borrow your folks for a couple months. I need that good feeling oxytocin from all of them being. Is your mom like that too? Is she a big dreamer? She support you and kind of do her own thing too?
Yeah, man. After she had her 3 kids and find her a good job and remarried and things like that, she decided to go back to school. And I think she was like the first one to graduate in that side of the family. I'm so proud of her. But on top of that, being a great mom to each one of us, supporting us, like going out of her way. Like, man, really, really the rock, in the fam, especially in my life. With my sister and her. Yeah. My younger sister, that Tisha that I talked about earlier, that's big cornerstone in my world.
If there's anybody out there listening or watching this, and they are kind of in a weird spot, like they want to chase after stuff, but they're too scared, or too many people are talking them down, or saying it's weird or stupid or ignorant, or they're not making any money, or they're not doing this, or blah blah blah. What would you say to them, man? Some young kid, or maybe some older person who just they feel bad about not chasing their dreams. What would you say to them right now if they were like, "Well, what do I need to do, Chris?"
I would say, tell yourself that it's not too late. Like, based on what we've been saying, go for it, man. Like, you can't get no lower than what you are. Get it in your head. Say what you want. Put it in your heart. Believe that. Tell yourself that every day. No matter what anybody else saying, if they don't agree with you, stop listening to them. Believe in yourself. Push for it. Go for it. Just try. Take the risk. High risk, high reward. Try. That's what I would tell them.
Amen and amen.
I have one more thing I want to talk
go ahead,
about,
man. Plug in.
Far as like wrestling with, because when you asked me to be on here, I was like, I think I'm going to talk about this. But heartbreak PTSD.
Heartbreak PTSD. What's that?
Heartbreak post-traumatic syndrome, but not disorder. I told you before the cast that I was engaged or whatnot. Yeah, so before we actually got married, she decided that she wasn't ready to be married, and we kind of split. We still cool now, but when I love super hard. Like, I was, man, in my mind and heart, I was already married. Like, we was together a long time, went up through the ups and downs, but I was like, yeah, you here now, you know what I'm saying? So, but when that happened, it just put me in a really, really bad place. Like, felt lower than low. I just like, man, I felt like my insides, I was a ghost. Yeah, like, I knew something was there. Like, I knew something was there, but I just felt hollow, empty, like it was nothing. But like, some of the things that helped me through that, man, was just like, I told myself that I wasn't going to hate her. Even when I felt like I did, I would never let that come out of my mouth. And I had my days, I had some real tough days where, man, it was just super tough. And it seems like she would always call me on them days too. But I would still just be kind to her. I loved her anyway. Even with a broken heart, that's hard to do. Love somebody with a broken heart. But yeah, man, I'm like I said, I kept moving forward, man. And so anybody who ever dealt with that, tell yourself you can make it without them. You can, you can continue. There is another person out there for you. Different things like that. And sometimes, like, it'll get tough. I don't want to say tough, but like, I see something that reminds me of her, and it'll be like, them feelings, they won't come back, but it'll like a little sting or whatnot. But considering where I was to where I am now is great. Like, I'm much, much better. I just wanted to kind of put that out there.
Okay, thanks for sharing that, man. Wow, that's wonderful that you would share that. Not that you had to go through that, but if I had any advice to give you on that, I would just say that you sometimes, sorrow can be our salvation, right? Like, the things that talking about music, some of the greatest albums ever written was over heartache, breakups, or somebody's dying, right? And they use that. So, like, you can turn that, like, pain into some high form of energy, and then find something else to romanticize. Maybe it's the things that you're chasing now. And so,
definitely,
sometimes your pain is your power.
Definitely. It definitely helped my music out a lot. Because, like I said, I used to just rap, but now I kind of rap with feeling. And because I definitely want to be able to open up more in my music.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that, man. Thanks for being on the show. This has been super awesome. You're moving to Dallas in X amount of months. So I'm try my best to try to get you on the show again before you're out and about. But if I don't, then we'll have to try to make a trip out there or something. But man, I think you got a good head on your shoulders. You just got to keep moving on and doing what you're doing, and we got to stay in touch too. But I feel like you're a very inspiring person, man. This makes me want to go out and do something right now, like just something, anything. Well, all right, man, I appreciate you being on the show.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Chris is a great guy. Hopefully the things that he said just ring out like a Liberty Bell inside of your skull, because it's very important. The things that we talked about, like chasing your heart, is very important. Like passion is a very important thing to me. And I feel like people underutilize their own passions and their own workings for their own personal success. And I don't just mean success with money or jobs and stuff, but what you want to do as a human being, what you want to create and how you want to be. That's very important. What are you chasing? And is it worth it? And how long are you willing to chase it? I feel like that's a big question that people should really think about and answer. And if anybody's dealt with heartache and the stuff that Chris, and I'm sure this is most people, then it can be very relatable to you. And hopefully it can kind of help put a better perspective on things. Maybe you can use your sorrow to help you. So as always, check us out on YouTube, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bells for more content. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Overcast, Google Podcast, and all the other ones that host podcasts. What do you wrestle with? And how can you beat it? One love.
I'm what you call it. Spitting days and minutes, boy. I'm hyperbolic. I got the type of knowledge guy gonna have to smite somebody, strike somebody with a genius intellect and write about it. Guaranteed you found somebody taking on 1,000 bodies. Iron Man's, Robert Downey's, Triple H's, Ronda Rousey's, Malcolm X's, Farrakhan, Martin Luther Genghis Khan, Rise Against the Machine, Astro Boy, Megatron. Now I ain't sparing none. Tell them come and get them some. A gang of gangs, orangutan, pterodactyl, mastodon. I am undeniably a menace to society. Worst of the last days is how you summarize me. What up, Frost G? Tell him that he lost speed. Whoever took the time out to pass on his raw beat. If he wanted back, tell him that he gotta die twice, freeze hell with dry ice and still gotta cross me. Not a creature walking on this earth that can halt me. I ain't scared to stand tall and say that Jesus bought me. Just because I'm Christ-like, don't go thinking I'm softly. That will leave you last level cheat code boss beat.